Hey guys, it's your girl Tara Michelle. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like it or not. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the infamous Dua brand. So Dua fragrances, the Dua brand, whatever you want to call them, they are an inspiration or dupe house. From Black Friday till now, I have 27 fragrances, 25 that I'm going to discuss in this video today, and then 2 that I just ordered today on Valentine's Day. Now they have a 30% off sale going on, which is why I felt like today was a perfect time to go ahead and jump into this video. In case you guys hear me talking about anything that you find interesting, you can go ahead and snatch it up on their sale today. So I want to start with the 5 fragrances that I'm on the fence about. These 5 fragrances just don't ring feminine enough to me. And I'm just going to be honest. That is the only reason that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them. And if I'm going to sell them, I'm either going to do it in the Dua group on Facebook or on Mercari. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. Okay, so this video is going to be very long and very thorough. So grab the whole bottle of wine and, all the snacks, and let's just do it. The first one I want to start off with is called Soulmate. Here's the bottle. All the bottle designs are the same as far as structure-wise. I think they're really cute. I do believe they are 30 ml, so they're 1 fluid ounce. And they're pretty. The designs, I don't know where they get them from. I don't care. It's all about the juice. But let me read the notes to you for Soulmate. The notes are coffee espresso, tiramisu, Madagascar ylang ylang, whipped cream, milk, Madagascar vanilla, Turkish rose, patchouli, caramel, Cuban tobacco, and smoke. So this fragrance sounded to me like it was just going to be everything under the sun. I was really appreciative of those notes. But what I have found is that for me, I don't really pick up any sweetness. So for me, I get the coffee and espresso. I definitely get like the powdered, which is like some type of coffee like grind or something like that on top of the tiramisu. Not so much that marzipan cheese. I think that's what that is, or whatever it's called. I get the Turkish rose and the patchouli, and I definitely get the Cuban tobacco and the smoke. For all of you who have been on my channel with me, you're subscribed to me, you know that tobacco and, just it's not. So for me, this is super strong and heavy when it comes to that Turkish rose and the coffee and the espresso. I really like this fragrance for so many of its notes. I really do. Even the ylang ylang can shine through here. But the whipped cream, I do not get. The caramel, I do not get. I do not get the milk or the Madagascar vanilla. If this was about 20% at least, 20% sweeter, then I would probably be able to deal with the rest of it. I forgot to say this about Soulmate. Soulmate is an original Dua blend, which means that it's their own creation. Some of these fragrances are inspired by, and some of them are original Dua blends. The next one that we're about to talk about is called Crater. Crater is a dupe or inspiration, or it's inspired by Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir. So, a lot of people love Grand Soir. I'm talking about, they just think it's the bee's knees. To me, it is a masculine fragrance. I had a sample, I tried it, I absolutely love the scent, but it's supposed to be on a man in my book. To my nose, it's for a man. So I heard that this one was more unisex than masculine. So I purchased it, and I will tell you, it is easier to wear to me. This one is much easier to wear than Grand Soir. However, it still leans masculine to me. Yeah. It's okay. Here go the notes. Benzoin, labdanum, tonka bean, amber, and vanilla. I believe I have a hard time with benzoin and labdanum together. I think that combination can be a little bit too much for me. I think that when you combine benzoin and labdanum together, if the sweetness factor like the vanilla or the whipped cream or the tonka bean or the amber are not amped up enough to kind of separate the two. You know, like when you have two kids together and they are just so rowdy and rambunctious that you know, if you're a teacher, you sit one on this side of the table and this one on the other one so they can't get to each other. That type of thing. So for me, beautiful fragrance, sexy as all get out on a man, but it's just too masculine. Next, we're going to talk about Cali Life, like short for California, Cali Life. The notes in this one are mandarin orange, pear, ambrette, musk, and benzoin. Now with those notes, I just assumed that this would be extremely feminine, nice and fruity, perfect for spring and for summer. I'm getting the mandarin orange more now than I ever have before. I'm starting to like this one. When I first got it, it smelled like forest to me. It smelled like pine needles and being near a spring, but you know, and a bunch of moss, but I don't get it. I don't get what's pulling like that. I think it's the mandarin orange with the ambrette. Maybe it's the musk. It's not sweet enough for me. I want a sweeter, juicier version of this. If they could amp it up by adding some sugar, because I don't necessarily want tonka bean or Madagascar vanilla. Give me some sugar cane. Give me sweet, and I would love this. So this isn't masculine anymore. At first, I really did think it smelled like the forest, but now as I am breaking it down, smelling it and really taking it in and picking out the notes against what I know is in it, it's just not sweet enough. That's it. This is really, really, oh, this is, damn, it gets better every time I smell it though. The next one we're going to talk about is called Ottoman Breeze. And this is a dupe of, or it is inspired by, Nishani's Hasibat. So, masculine all day long. The notes are, let me make sure I got the right. The notes are pineapple, grapefruit, jasmine, patchouli, cedarwood, and oak moss. I'll tell you right now that for me, on my skin, and the first time I sprayed it on the card, all I pulled was the patchouli, the cedarwood, and the oak moss. Jasmine, pineapple, grapefruit, bergamot, nowhere to be found. So let's see what we get now. Ooh, child. If you want a fragrance that consists of patchouli, cedarwood, and oak moss with slight hints of pineapple, I'm talking about the smallest amount of pineapple you could ever find in your life in any one place, this is for you. This is masculine to me. It will probably smell really good on a man. I would hope that he would pair it with something else with more fruit in it or something sweeter, because it is just, you were walking through a forest, you're near a spring or like a little river, some type of body of water that's flowing, and you slip on a moss-covered rock and hit your head and just face plant into the ground. Everything that you're inhaling while you're unconscious on the floor of the forest, that's what that is to me. It is beyond anything I can deal with, and I'm telling you right now, it is for sure one I'm getting rid of. I think all 5 of these are going to go, to be honest. I'm just not moved to keep any of them. However, can't deny the craftsmanship, cannot deny the ingredients, cannot deny any of that. It's just that sometimes stuff doesn't work for you. The last one out of the 5 that I am going to be getting rid of, that sounds so harsh. Out of the 5 I'm going to be letting go of, I'm going to be sharing with others who think that they sound fantastic. This one is called Inimitable Personality. Yeah, that word. Really gorgeous bottle. I love this bottle. And guys, you know, be sure to check out the doabrand.com. They got a 30% off sale going on today, like I said. Also, while you're here listening to me, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the like button and select the notification bell so that you never miss any of my future uploads. Here are the notes. Lemon, geranium, rose de mai, jasmine from grassy, ylang ylang, violet, rhubarb, sandalwood, patchouli, saffron, agar wood. That means there's oud in here. Almond accord, vanilla, musk, ambergris, musk again, and powdery notes. Everything in that sounds like heaven to me. However, guys, I cannot make heads or tails of this perfume. When I originally smelled it, I'm keeping it, you know, I got to keep it cute and I got to keep it honest, most importantly. It smelled like Raid bug spray to me, like for flies or ants or whatever. Raid, that is what it smelled like for the, like, ooh, I couldn't deal with it. Then I went back and tried it again on my skin, which was hard because the Raid smell was still there. And I focused hard on the notes. This is so geranium heavy to me. Woo, child. It's just a different world of geranium. And I think there's too many notes in it that don't sit well with the oud. This is an oud that would be great to wear. Very wearable, very palatable. If it just didn't have so much other stuff going, it's just too much in here. This is too busy. This is too all over the place. Now that we've gotten the hard part out of the way, because I really didn't want to talk about these 5, if I'm being honest. Let's go ahead and talk about the ones I'm loving. I'm going to start with this one because it's a weird one for me. This is one that I was on the fence about, and it was actually going to be the 6th one that I decided to get rid of. However, as I try it, it gets better every single time. This one is called Pomme Trempay, I guess. This is inspired by Kilian's apple brandy. The notes are green apple, vanilla, cedar, and brandy. I've never smelled Kilian's apple brandy, but I'm telling you, at first this wasn't sweet to me. It was just apple and booze. Now I'm starting to get the sweetness from the vanilla and the cedar. I feel that cedar in there, and I love the smell of cedar. It's not like gerbil cage shavings. It's beautiful with the brandy. I wish the apple were a little stronger for my liking, because again, I'm a fruity girl. However, it smells pretty, but I'm having a hard time wondering where I would wear it. When would I want to smell like brandy and apple? Like if this were the days where you could still go out to eat, go to a bar, maybe go hear some live music. Okay, that's the vibe that this gives me. But I'm not doing any of those things now. So I'm going to keep it. So we've had a chance to talk about an original dual blend, which was Soulmate. And we've also talked about some of their inspired fragrances, like the Apple Brandy by Kilian. So they also have another concept series of hybrids where they will combine popular fragrances into one. So let's say you love to layer. I do not. I cannot stand layering perfumes. I feel like if I purchase the perfume, it better stand on its own. However, I know there are a lot of people who love to layer fragrances. So let's say you're the type of person who loves to layer Tom Ford's Lost Cherry with MFK 540 Baccarat Rouge. Well, instead of you having to take both of those really expensive perfumes only to get them home and find out that you want to layer and mix and match, you could just buy it in one bottle. You could buy those two inspired fragrances already put together. So here's an example of one. This one is called Amberlicious Cherry. It is inspired by a hybrid of Hermès's Ambre Narguile and Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. So the notes are extensive. Let me get started. Honey, benzoin, ladanum, musk, vanilla, sesame seed, caramel, rum, cinnamon, black cherry, bitter almond, cherry liqueur, jasmine sambac. What type of syrup is that? Griotte? Oh, okay. Even when I saw it up close, I still didn't know what the hell it was. Turkish rose, Peru balsam, Haitian vetiver, cedarwood, roasted tonka, sandalwood, white orchid, and amber accord. Okay, so that sounds like they mixed 2 different perfumes together. It is exquisite. I personally, oh man, you've got to be kidding me. The amber and the cherry in here, the amount of sweetness that I'm getting, that is what I was looking for. That when I find a fragrance with duo that doesn't sit well with me instantly, If it's not because of the masculine factor, it is because of the lack of sweetness. That is really one thing about the house that I would really change. I wish they would use more sugar. Okay, so if you like Hermes's, what is it called? Ambre Narguile. Never smelled that one before, being 100% honest. Or if you've always wanted to try a fragrance that was hyped up, amped up on the amber and the cherry, you will love this. I think it's a really good seller. Amberlicious Cherry. This is, man, listen, I love this. I have zero complaints about this. The right amount of sweetness, the right kind of cherry. It doesn't smell like a maraschino cherry to me. It smells like just cherry. Their dupe of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry is also phenomenal. So, and they have a lot of hybrids that include that Tom Ford Lost Cherry. And so, and MFK Baccarat Rouge, and a whole bunch of creative vintage. Look, once you go to the website, just get lost and have fun. They, you know, have inspired fragrances from Initio Parfums and Creed and, you know, Bond Number 9 and a whole bunch of other expensive fragrance houses that a lot of people cannot afford. So if you want to dip your toes into a world of a inspired house that does not skimp on the materials though, where you're going to get, and again, a lot of times a spot on dupe with better longevity and projection, check them out. And oh, just for the record, I'm not sponsored. I, you know, doubt anybody in doing knows who I am or what I'm doing or the fact that I'm obsessed with their fragrances. We have another hybrid here, and this is a threefer. This is called Drowning in Caramel Cherry Delight. This is a hybrid of Nishani's Annie, Casmarati's Lyra. I know a lot of you like that Lyra. And Tom Ford's Lost Cherry again. Woo! Listen, this is fancy. Black cherry, bitter almond, cherry liqueur, griot syrup, jasmine sambac, Turkish rose, Peru balsam, Haitian vetiver, cedarwood, roasted tonka, sandalwood, bergamot, green notes, blue ginger. Doesn't that just sound fancy? Pink pepper, black currant, cardamom, patchouli, vanilla, benzoin, ambergris, blood orange, lavender, cinnamon, licorice blossom, musk accord, and caramel. Nothing's bad in there. Dude, man, yo, listen. Sweet, beautiful, smells like you are just rich and oozing with nothing but goodness inside. Like, it reminds me of just, all the things I want to smell like. We have another Dua original blend. This is called Cotton Candy de Dua. This is a very light, airy, simple, sweet, mature, not mature as an old lady, but non-kid-like cotton candy. So if you like the smell of cotton candy, that's like in its purest form, like the fresh spun sugar when you're actually making it in one of those spun sugar machines. The notes are cotton candy, spun sugar, vanilla, and white musk. And I'm telling you now, it's that white musk that gives it that grown woman zhuzh. Desire 2, and it is inspired by Xerjoff's Cruz del Sur 2. I have no idea what that smells like, but I love this fragrance. This is the ripest mango I've ever smelled in anything in my life that wasn't a real mango. If you have cut into or peeled a mango or sliced a bit of it off and the juice ran out and you smelled that and you tasted that, like if you were to, you know, cut a slice off and then bite the meat out and like drag your teeth across the back of the skin because you're just going for the meat on the inside, dude, that taste and that smell. I have been searching for a mango perfume, and I'm used to the synthetic, like mango now later, mango juice type of, you know, smell to it. This is the real deal. It's crazy. It is really, really crazy in that opening. The notes are ripe mango flesh. They are not lying. Whoo, child, please. Pineapple, apple blossom, tropical guava, violet leaf, exotic floral bouquet, black currant, vetiver, dried fruits, musk, and cedarwood. All that. This is so sexy and so pretty and so realistic and so fruity. I cannot wait to wear this in the spring and mostly in the summer. I want to see what that ripe mango flesh does in the extreme heat out here in the Midwest. This next one was like literally the only one I sought out because it was a dupe of something. I do not particularly care for, in the extreme sense, Ani by Nishani. Although I own it, it was a birthday gift, so I'm stuck with it. It's not a bad fragrance, but for the price, it just, no. But because of the way that Kia, aka Yummy 411, described this one, she said this one, which is called Drowning in Vanilla, she said that this one was Tamar Braxton, whereas Ani would be Toni Braxton. Now, from being demure and being the one that we fell in love with and the one with the bigger career, I get it. I love me some Toni Braxton. But I think that vocally, Tamar Braxton sings circles around Toni Braxton. Her vocal range is exquisite and just crazy and out there. So I really wanted to try this to see if I liked it more. And I also wanted to do a side-by-side comparison. Like, I don't own Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, so I could never have compared those two. And I didn't want to get a dupe of MFK 540. If you've paid the money for MFK 540 and that one was also a gift, you don't need a knockoff. For why? So this was one that I was actually interested in getting so I could do the side-by-side comparisons. It is a really great dupe. It really is. There's slight differences, like in the opening of this one is way more potent, a little bit harsher, but it's moving through the mid and moving through the dry down, they are very similar, like super duper duper similar. But this one, I agree, this one is louder. This one is going to be the life of the party. Like if you're going to wear Nishani's Ani, you're going to be there. You know, people may smell you, they may not, because sometimes that thing pulls like such a skin scent unless you go in really, really heavy with the sprays. And with how much it costs, like a lot of people aren't going to want to do that. So with this one, you're going to have more fun. The projection and the longevity are going to be out there. You're going to, I feel, make a bigger impression. So I would say go with this one over Ani, me personally. But you take that with a grain of salt because I don't really care for Ani like that. This next one that I'm going to talk about is another Dua original blend. And it's probably going to shock some of you who pay attention to my videos carefully and closely. I hate popcorn notes in perfume. I do not ever in life want to smell like popcorn. The new Cherryosa 71, that macadamia nut, whatever spray that they came out with from Sol de Janeiro, gross. Because in the opening and in the mid, it smells like the most butter saturated stale popcorn I've ever smelled in my life. So this fragrance here blows my mind with the fact that I can stand it, tolerate it, and didn't just throw it across the room when I first smelled it. Because baby, this joker smelled like popcorn. This is called Gato Citron. Now, I found this perfume while searching for the note of lemon. And this is not what I expected it to smell like. Let me read you these notes. Boy, baby, if you're a gourmand lover, you need this in your collection. Okay. Lemon peel, butter batter. Now see that, clearly I told you guys I don't really pay attention to notes. For real, for real. You know, you get me with lemon peel or lemon zest and I'm liable to just not read any further because I'm such a lemon fanatic. Okay. Start over. Lemon peel, butter batter, vanilla cake, toasted coconut, butter frosting, and whipping cream. That toasted coconut will get you too. Toasted coconut can also come off a little popcorny to me. So when you smell this, it smells like the freshest, best butter popcorn you've ever smelled in your life. And that's just from the bottle. Oh my God. But when you spray it And again, people who know me know in real life I hate butter. Don't put butter on anything that you give me unless you want me to throw it away. Like I'm pancakes, waffle, don't put no butter on my food. Okay. This butter batter, the vanilla cake, this comes together so exquisitely. This is what you would think a kitchen would smell like if you had like one of the best chefs in the world with all the Michelin stars and all of that stuff. This is what it would smell like to be in their amazing, just wonderful environment. I love this. I love this. This is something that's done right. This is something that stopped me in my tracks. And instead of me going, oh, I hate this, I instantly said, let me dive into this some more. What is it that I'm really smelling? What is it going to morph into? What are we doing here? I'm doing this. That's what I'm doing here. This is amazing. And again, that is Gato Citron, only for the gourmand lovers. You need to be okay with baking to like this. This one is also a Dua Original Blend. This is called Tropicalia. I love this bottle. It's so pretty. I love the purple. Okay, guys, the first time I sprayed this, I almost lost my mind because it smelled like a thirsty Just Whistle orange vest soda. And I couldn't believe it. Then it morphed into smelling like the fruit punch vest, the black cherry vest. Boy, listen, this is fire. This is fire. For anybody watching this who may be a little older than me or younger than me and don't know what that means, it means it's friggin' awesome, okay? It doesn't mean it's hot. It means it's really, really, really good. That's what fire means. Okay. Here are the notes. Mandarin orange, wild strawberry, Amalfi lemons, Sicilian bergamot, fresh Caribbean lime juice, Italian pomelo, grapefruit, wild blueberries, musk, vanilla, and rum. All that. Now, oh my gosh. It just smells so effervescent. It smells like those bubbles. What is that stuff that they call when they put in the soda machines? That stuff that mixes in with the syrup that makes the soda and stuff. I'm sure after I'm done filming this, it's going to pop into my head. But you guys, like carbonated water. It smells like the carbonation process. The bubbles, the fizziness. This brings me so much joy. This is something that will allow you to remember, you know, growing up in the 80s when you just sit on the porch and if somebody gave you a little 10 or 15 cent, 25 cent can of soda, your life was made. Like, ah, man, I love this. Only this is made for grown-ups. This is a nice, fizzy, effervescent, bubbly, perfect, I'm sure, for summer weather. This is called La Spezia Lime. And this is inspired by Bella Bellissima Riviera Lime. Never heard of that. Never smelled that. Let me tell you the notes. Italian lime, Calabrian bergamot, saffron, and dry woods. So the perfect lime fragrance for me that I've come across in my lifetime to date comes from the House of Guerlain, their Aqua Allegoria line, and that would be Limon Verde. That fragrance is so on point and so perfect that I have not one but two backup bottles. And it gives you the zestiness and the life of the lime that's matched with the correct amount of sweetness. The sweetness and juiciness and fizziness of it is just unmatched to me. Now, that is what I was hoping for with La Spezia Lime. However, what I got instead was a very potent and dry lime. This is exquisite for what it is. But my taste buds, my nose loves sweetness. There is none to be found in here. There's none. This is like if you took a lime and you stuck it in some dry ice or whatever that stuff is, but you can stick it in there and you bring it back out, liquid nitrogen. Look, Lord, help me. I'm not looking at any of this stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You stick it in something and it instantly freezes it like ice cream or, you know, cereal or some little store that sticks everything in there and you just eat it or whatever ridiculousness. That's what this is. It has taken the zestiness of the lime and instead left you with the actual essence of it, not being distracted by too much zest or sour or tart, absolutely no sweetness or sugar, and the dry woods. That's what's doing it. I guarantee you it's the dry woods that's doing it. This is an interesting take on lime, but I need it to be sweeter. It is definitely just not sweet enough for me, but I would never give this up. This is a unique twist on things. Man, if I could get the same dry essence that this gives me, only with some sweetness, I think that this could surpass Limon Verde, or at least tie it. Because one is juicy, zesty, sweet. The other one will be dry and sweet. So like daytime and nighttime. You know what I'm saying? Exquisite fragrance. But just do not think you're going to get zest or sweetness, because you're not. Another inspired fragrance. This is just the regular Amberlicious. So, of course, it's inspired by Hermès's Ambre Nerguile or Narguile or Narguile. Look. The notes are honey, benzoin, labdanum. There's that benzoin and labdanum. Musk, vanilla, sesame seed, caramel, rum, cinnamon, white orchid, tonka bean, and amber accord. Guys, this is the type of fragrance that brings it. This is the type of fragrance that doesn't leave me wanting more or leave me confused about whether or not I like the fragrance. When I first smelled it, I was like, okay, what are we doing here? The dry down, the mid and the dry down are so exquisite, and the sweetness comes out for me in leaps and bounds. There's nothing that the benzoin and the labdanum can do with that sweetness, and therefore I'm all in for Amberlicious. This is Caramel Delight, and it is inspired by Xerjoff's Lyra. So for those of us who refuse to spend $150 or more on Lyra, I had a sample of Lyra, didn't wow me. Didn't feel like I needed to grab it at all. However, Caramel Delight from the House of Dua inspired fragrance. Woo! The notes are bergamot, blood orange, lavender, jasmine, cinnamon, licorice blossom, musk accord, vanilla, and caramel. Baby, listen. This is so good. Oh, this is so good. And you know, I don't really care for spices like nutmeg and cinnamon in my perfumes. The cinnamon in this is exquisite. This is one of my favorite. This is definitely top 3 of all 25 that I'll put my nose to so far. I absolutely love this. If you're looking for Lyra and can't afford it, this is a perfect dupe. To be honest, I like it more, because this one I don't ever want to be without again in my collection. Lyra, I never wanted to put it in there in the first place, so there's that. You guys know that Francis Kirk Dijon is my favorite perfumer, and this is called Aqua Bravada. It's an inspired fragrance by Maison Francis Kirk Dijon's Aqua Universalis Forte. The notes in this are Sicilian bergamot, Amalfi lemon, Egyptian jasmine, Tuscanian rose, white flowers, precious woods, and melange of musks. I don't know what that means. This is the epitome of smelling clean. Not doing too much, not necessarily like a bar of soap or shampoo or anything like that. Like you just walked through some type of pure waterfall from Wakanda. And instead of getting actually soaked and drenched, it like cleaned your whole aura and essence and everything. And you just walk back out dry. It is the perfect spring summer fragrance. I cannot wait to wear this in the heat. I feel like on the hottest of hot days, I want to wear this to maintain my sanity and keep a cool head. This just makes me feel like you could trick yourself with this into thinking it's not as hot as it really is. And I love fresh fragrances that can do that. This is so good. The bergamot, the lemon, they're not as zesty as they normally would be on their own. I think that jasmine kind of tames them, and together they create like this freshness of dryer sheets type of thing. I just like it. Dua's Passions is another original Dua blend. And baby, the fruit magic in this. Oh my goodness. Let me just go over the notes. First of all, let me smell it again. Listen to me. This is such a fruity, edible fragrance. For women, so feminine. So it's labeled as unisex, but there's nothing masculine about this to me. This is the epitome of femininity. The notes are plum, peach, raspberry, passion fruit, mandarin orange, violet, saffron, jasmine, bitter almond oil, sandalwood, amber, fir balsam, white musk, gardenia, patchouli, Madagascar vanilla, cashmere suede, and rose de mai. This is so sexy, so sensual, so fun, so flirty, so fruity, so sweet. Oh my God, this smells so good. I don't even care what I'm talking about no more. I don't care. This one is called the Grand Ball. It is inspired by Xerjoff's Grand Ballo. Never smelled that one before, but this is so pretty. The notes are honeysuckle, caramel, gardenia, jasmine, amber, and vanilla. This one is labeled correctly because it's labeled feminine. It's so pretty. What can I say? If you love honeysuckle, this is the best honeysuckle usage in a perfume that I've ever smelled. The honeysuckle is youthful enough for early 20s and even teen. God, this smells so good. This is called Lady Elixir. This is inspired by Roja Parfum's Elixir Parfum. If you've ever had Scentbird, then you probably had a travel size of Elixir, and you know it is fire. Let me tell you something. Roja Parfums, whatever, they did the thing with that simple, sweet, light floral fragrance. It is just pretty for the sake of being pretty. What it does not do, though, is it does not last. That perfume costs so much money. For it to have zero longevity, they got some nerve on them. I'm telling you. Now, baby, if I'd had purchased that, instead of getting it from Scentbird, like if I had purchased a whole bottle of that. Okay, so the notes are bergamot, rose de mai, jasmine from Gracie, lily of the valley, heliotrope, ylang ylang, geranium, violet leaves, peach, raspberry, cinnamon, cashmere, cashmere with a K-A-S-H-M-I-R, not to be confused with the C-A-S-H-M-E-R-E. So is it cashmere? Listen, cedar, vanilla, iris, musk, sandalwood, and musk mallow, which I believe is amber. It depends on who's saying it and who's putting it on their fragrances. Guys, when you first spray it, it's reminiscent of Elixir, but different. Then about 60 seconds goes by and you're like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely the exact same. Only it's louder. And then an hour later, you realize it's still on your skin. So you know you're not really dealing with the real Elixir Parfum because it had been gone by then. This is phenomenal. This is why I stand by the statement that you will have sometimes an inspiration that is super, super close in the beginning, but spot on in the mid and in the dry down, but lasts longer and projects better, further. I would take this over the original Elixir from Roja Parfums any and every day of the week. I'm loving the variants that I'm able to bring to you guys, from 2 perfume hybrids to 3 perfume hybrids to original blends to inspired buys. We're back on original blends. This is called Milady. And the notes in this one are pear, neroli, orange blossom, lush floral bouquet, violet, ylang ylang, Turkish rose, cacao, tonka beans, toffee, Madagascar vanilla, and musk. Feminine fragrance for sure, and it's marked as such. This is sweet, floral, and creamy. This is, oh, this is so good. I just love a good feminine fragrance. More and more we're moving into the realm of a lot of unisex stuff, and I am such a feminine woman. When it comes to the way I smell, I want to smell like the epitome of girly girl. This is one of those fragrances. This is something that is just so yummy and delicate, but still potent. Like when I say delicate, I'm talking about the fragileness of femininity. I'm talking about the sacredness of femininity. And yet and still the strength of it. That this perfume is definitely Milady. This is definitely the embodiment of all things that make us complex women. This is another original duo blend called Era of Vanilla. Go ahead and throw a T on there. We got Terra of Vanilla. The notes are bourbon vanilla. I love bourbon vanilla. Madagascar vanilla, vanilla orchid, vanilla sugar, sandalwood, cashmere wood, lilac, heliotrope, musk, vanilla milk, and aldehydes. Guys, I love vanilla. Oh man. This is a vanilla like I've never smelled before. Oh my God, the aldehydes in this. Oh my God, I could bathe in this. I could bathe my soul in this, and I'm telling you, I'll be perfectly happy. This is one of the best vanillas I have in my freaking collection, if not the best. Let me, you know what? Video concept rolling around in my head. I have so many vanillas that I love. Like, I think the hardest. I've done a favorites vanillas before. That video is somewhere in my list. I may have to post it at the end of this one. But that was back when I thought that single note vanillas like Molinard's Vanille were just, you know, the bee's knees. That is still a nice fragrance, but I'm so far removed, and I have made my home inside of complex vanillas that is just too basic for me now. So I might need to update that list. This is called Dolce Vita. It's inspired by Profumum Roma Dulcis in Fundo. I don't even know what language that's in. Like, what are we talking about? Never smelled it clearly. It's labeled as unisex. The notes are Sicilian citruses, fruit melange with vanilla extract. This is another must-have. I don't know what those notes mean, minus the vanilla extract, of course. The rest of that whole melange business, melange, whatever we're talking about, give me more. This reminds me of like gelato and jello and ice cream and pudding all together. Like that vibe, that sweetness and dessert-iness of all those things. Oh, this is so good. But it definitely, I mean, you're gonna want something with some cream to it. You're going to want lemon meringue pie or key lime pie or something. It just gives you, man, it smells so good. It's just, it makes me happy. We are down to the last two. Can you believe it? We made it. This is called Vanilla Lemon Gelato. And this one is another original duo blend. The notes are vanilla, lemon, and bergamot. Keep it simple, keep it sweet. Yep. Vanilla, lemon, and bergamot. In the beginning, you're going to get all of that beautiful, beautiful zestiness and tartness from the lemon that reminds you of the meat in the middle, like where that sour juice, that tart juice is, as well as the zest. And the vanilla is very subdued. It absolutely lets that lemon be the star of the show. And then about 30-45 seconds in, you start to get the vanilla and the bergamot adding to it. Now, I'll tell you, on your skin, it's still going to pull the sourness, the zestiness of the lemon. But in the air, the scent bubble that's around me right now, the vanilla is the star. And it blends with the bergamot and the lemon in a way, literally, where this smells nothing in the air like it smells on your skin. Right now, what I'm getting in the air is one of the most beautiful fragrances. We have another Dua original blend to end this list. Guys, this is called Tartness of Vanilla. Man, Dua is just kicking it out of the park with their vanilla original blends. I'm such a fan. I'm such a fan. So the notes are vanilla cream cake, orange peel, lemon pie, hint of praline, bitter almond oil, Turkish rose, orchid flower, hint of bitter chocolate, 85% cacao, cacao beans, Madagascar vanilla, white musk, and tonka beans. There's not a bad thing in there. Oh my goodness, I gotta spray it on me. Again, I mean, and it's smelling all kinds of gourmand. This is the perfect time to smell gourmand too. It's Valentine's Day. People are eating chocolates left and right. It's just, it works well. So, the orange peel in this is alive, you guys. It cuts through everything else that's going on in that opening. So if you love some zest, some tartness to your vanilla, tartness of vanilla, this is a very good fragrance for you. The vanilla cream cake, the lemon pie, guys, you're going to get it all. From the opening, it transitions through the mid, it transitions through the dry down. You're going to get different parts of all these notes in different phases of the fragrance. And the dry down is just going to be exquisite. These are going to be making so many top favorite lists of mine, depending on what category you're talking about. So guys, this video has been long enough. Of course, you know, I hope you've subscribed already. I hope you've clicked the like button and set the notification bell so that you never miss any of my future uploads. Let's talk about this in the chat. If you're against dupes, if you're for them, if you've tried this house, if you haven't. If you really want to know more in depth about any of these, I'm telling you the best thing for you to do is hit that website, theduabrand.com. Get lost in it. Have fun. Remember your bank balance though. Don't be out here doing stuff talking about I told you to do it when you know you ain't got it. That ain't it. But guys, enjoy it. Experience it. Even if you only purchase one. Do it is amazing. Give it a chance. And pay attention to the original blends. Those are my favorite. Until then,